This video is made for the applicant who is about to file the application for Canadian Permanent Residency under the extra entry. To answer the question, how does an application get proceed after it is filed? The basic stages of an extra entry can be divided into two parts, pre-ITA and post-ITA. In the pre-ITA stage, an applicant creates an online profile and enters the extra entry pool. If the applicant has a high comprehensive ranking system score, which is about the cutoff for a specific route, the applicant receives an invitation to apply, or ITA. Upon receiving the ITA, the applicant has 60 days to file the completed application with supporting documents. Upon the successful filing of the application, acknowledgement of receipt is automatically generated, usually on the same day as submission. In some rare cases, it may take a little longer to receive the AOR. It is after this step, the application is preceded by the Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada, or IRCC. The extra entry 6-month processing time begins when an application is assessed as complete. This means that the 6 months processing clock starts when the R10 is passed and the completeness check is passed. This is the first step in the processing the application. Applicants are required to submit the complete electronic application for permanent residence within 30 calendar days of being issued an invitation to apply. The application and all supporting documents must be submitted electronically through the applicant's online account. This is the first stringent check of the application. The Regulation 10 of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act regulation imposes a strict liability on the applicants to account for all documents uploaded, satisfying what was stated in the extra entry profile, and ensure that there are no gaps. An application that is incomplete is liable to be rejected as per Section 10 of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Regulations, and all fees associated with the application are refunded to the applicant. A complete application includes the following: the electronic application, EAPR, the cost recovery fees, all supporting documents to support applicants' extra entry profile, and EAPR. Usually by this stage, the medicals are also passed. The medical reports are reviewed by Health Canada. The next stage is to determine eligibility. For example, whether the application meets the broadband prerequisites under which it is filed. When reviewing an application, processing officer must determine if the application possesses the qualification that they declare in their EAPR and if the same is corroborated by the supporting documents filed. And when the applicant submits their EAPR, the document or the information provided in their extra entry profile has not materially changed to the degree that the applicant would have not been issued an ITA in the round of invitation. The objective here is to review whether the applicant missed the broadband threshold and what the applicant claimed in his profile is true and correct. If there's any issues or concerns, the reviewing officer can send your application for further review that may include an interview, the extra document request, etc. The officer also considers whether the application should be refused for not meeting the minimum requirements of the federal program or for misrepresentation. The eligibility focuses on two major factors: The first one is the requirement to maintain minimum entry criteria. To meet the MEC, applicants must meet the program requirements of the Federal Skilled Worker class, the Federal Skilled Trades class, or the Canadian Experience class. If an applicant's situation changes in the time between they receive an ITA and when they submit their EAPR to an extent they fall below the MEC, the application is refused under Section 811.2. The next one is the requirement to maintain the comprehensive ranking score. It is an applicant's responsibility to ensure that his application meets the minimum CRS score. So if the applicant meets the requirements of both MEC and CRS, the eligibility is passed. Regarding comprehensive ranking system score, so the score is automatically recorded at the time when the ITA is issued or the EAPR is submitted. At the time of the EAPR, both CRS scores are compared, and one of the following scenario plays out. If the applicant's CRS score at the time of the EAPR is equal to or higher than the lowest rank score in the round of invitations, the application will not be refused, as long as the applicant's supporting documentation corroborates their claims, and they continue to meet the MEC for extract entry, including the requirements of the program to which they were invited to apply. But if the applicant's CRS score at the time of the EAPR is lower than the lowest rank score in the round of invitations, the application will be refused for not having maintained a qualification that would justify the ITA. Criminality. Each EAPR has to be accompanied with a police clearance certification in which the applicant has lived for more than 6 months. Based on the PCC submitted by the applicant and the travel history, criminality is passed. The last and the final stage is security. This is a serious and time-consuming stage and is done by Canadian Border Services Agency and Canadian Security Intelligence Service. Many factors are considered here, such as number of countries visited, applicant country of residence, and the political situation there, past law enforcement, and military record, prolonged stay in a country with sufficient documents to prove curse, frequent traveling to certain nations. Upon the completion of security check by CSIS, the report is submitted to IRCC. The last step is the final review. The CSIS and CPSI reports is reviewed and it is ensured that all checks have been completed, and it is then that the application is approved.